The next two parts are speed, distance, and time calculation. You must know the basic formula from your high school, and that is exactly the same formula you need in LCAT. But the point is, they give you some tricky questions. You must be aware of the average speed, which is, looks like the same, but it's not when you apply it in question. So for average speed, you just have, an average, and then, speed. I mean, it's essentially the same thing, but it's like just average with everything. So average distance, uh, sorry. So total distance, total time, and it will give you the average. Now, whenever a car or a person moves with different speeds in different intervals and they ask you to find the average speed, don't rush it. You first have to calculate the total distance and then total time. Only then you can find the average speed. For example, a common question is slippery slopes because I mean it's essentially like haste make waste. Hate makes waste. So haste makes waste. So why is that the case? Simply because they want you to rush. So for example, in this question you can see they already told you the speed. And for distance, they might direct you to a graph or something, which will, I mean, resist. I mean, why do you have to look at the graph? You already have all the information in the paragraph. But that is the trick, right? So now the question is find average speed. Very simple, right? You may think that we already have the speed from A to B and B to C. So what if we take an average of them? That means the 10 kilometers and 15 kilometers, add them and divide by 2. No, that does not work because the distance between both these points are different. And for average speed, always find the total distance and the total time before rushing into the conclusion. In this case, what is the total distance? Very clear, 20 plus 10. But how to find the total time? For time, you must calculate uh, the sub-intervals time first. So from A to B, the distance was 10 kilometers, speed was 10 kilometers. What could be the time? We know speed equals distance over time, and hence time would be equal to distance over speed. Here I am kind of presenting distance with d, which is not a standard notation, but we may use it because in LCAT they only care about your answer and not the process. So that's why if that is convenient, you can use this notation as well. All right, so distance is 10, speed is 10, that means the time is equal to 1. So 1 here. Now from B to C, it's 20 kilometer distance and 15 is the speed. And the time would be, which you may simplify as follows, 4 over 3. We can now calculate the total time, which is, so I mean, 4 over 3 can be very easily converted into mixed fractions. It's just like intuition, right? 4 over 3 is like 1 and 1/3 because 3 over 3 is 1, right? So if that is your intuition, go with it because it will make your calculations easier. So 1 and 1/3. And now you can add them easily. It would be 2 and third. So the average speed would be distance over time and hence 30 over 2 and third. You can now solve it further by first converting it back. It would be 7 over 3 and hence 3 would be multiplied with the numerator, so 90 over 7. It can be solved as we know 7 times 10 is 70. 7 times 12 is 84 and 7 times 13 is 91. So it's around 12.8 to 12.9, something like that. Let's look at the option. If the options are very close to each other, then you must do the complete equation. But if the options are far apart, you have like 12.6, 12.85, and 13.0, then just choose whatever is between 12.8 and 12.9. That will save you a lot of time, which is crucial in the exam like LCAT. There can be questions which may ask for uh distance, time, or speed, and you have to figure out uh how to solve them with minimum effort. In this question, you first have to notice that the time given is in seconds. It's 5 seconds, but for the speed, it says 10 kilometers per hour. So there's a major difference. That means you first have to convert speed into meters per second. And how can we do that? So just by 10 meters. Now, instead of kilo, we just write up 1000 because kilo means 1000 and it's divided by hours and you can write hours as 3600 seconds. I mean, simply you can remember that it would be 5 over 18 if you want to go from kilometers per hour to meters per second. It's just, you have to multiply 5 over 18. And after you multiply, now this step is very simple. Now some students may try to convert time from seconds to hours, then try finding the distance. But then again, you will have distance in kilometers, which you will have to convert back to meters. It really depends on the choices given. Mostly the choices are in meters. So that's why I would recommend you going from kilometers to meters per second instead of changing the time. That would be a longer route than this one.